Hey, what's up, YouTube traders? This is William from Bearable Traders, and we have, I don't know how I can point to this right, Eamonn, Steve, and Michelle here, and then Vicky's listening in. We're all BBT members here, and we all had really cool trades on HD, and we all did it independent of each other, but we saw similar things, so I wanted to share this with all of you. So I'm going to share my screen, and we are going to explain what each of us thought independent of each other and how we all made the same type of decision. Okay, so can you guys all see my screen? Eamonn, Steven, Michelle?
Yes. I do see it.
All right, so what I learned was from Brian and Norm. Brian says never short a strong stop, and it was a huge gap up on the daily. And Norm was always amazing at catching these strong stocks at a dip. So I saw this downtrend towards the 1 VWAP and 50 moving average. I had my harmonious chart with no moving averages in my way. I had a clear uptrend on the 60 and holding all these moving averages on all of these time frames. So I thought this is exactly where Norm would go. And I waited for this 1 minute candle just about to close. I put my stop right under VWAP, right under this 1 minute candle. And you can see this. This is the type of trade you love when you get in and it instantly bursts up. Huge bullish candle, big volume. I didn't get out, even though like in the past, I would have scaled out a little bit being too excited for such a big move because I already hit like a 1.5 or 2 to 1 risk to reward. But I held. I put a limit order right at 215.84, and I think it topped out at 215.94, and I got out 85% because I know these even dollar numbers can be huge resistance. And sure enough, it had a little pullback, but I had my stop right under VWAP still. I moved it up as VWAP increased. I moved my stop up. And then I scaled out heavy right here. And then I just got lucky on this fill right here. I just had limit orders all the way up. And right, I called out in the chat, if it can break out 216, it's going to instantly jump up big because the resistance is going to be gone. And that resistance is going to turn into support. And all of the sellers are going to get squeezed and the buyers just took over. And we capitalized on that. So really super simple. Gap up, buy on the dip, harmonious chart, have patience to scale out. So Eamonn, what did you see on this one, man?
First of all, thank you, William, for explaining this setup live because I wouldn't have been able to trade it if you didn't post your live trades. It's like an easy way to learn it. And then thanks to Kurt, he called it this stock wasn't on my watch list. Kurt told me that it looks nice, it gapped up, it's clean, and it's uptrending, so I decided to watch it. And we can see it is the harmonious chart. It's uptrending on all the charts. There are no moving average on the top of it. And I was really long bias on it, and I wanted to take it at the dip. So basically what I saw here is right at the open, it pulled back, it bounced from this 50 moving average. And once it bounced from it, I took it to the long side and put my stop loss basically below this 1 minute candle. I expected it to just go higher. Unfortunately, what it did, it just continued dropping a little bit more. So I got stopped out. Then I noticed that it actually bounced from this level I had around here, came back up, new 1 minute candle, took it to the long side. Next, new 1 minute high added to my size. This was basically my stop loss, a really tight one, around 50 cents. And I started partialing at 3 to 1 and all the way up. I still have around 5% of my position. I will either get out below 215 or at 218. I think it's going there. It's still looking strong on the 2 minute chart and the 15 on all the charts. And if it just gets me stopped out, it was a really good move.
Nice, man. So you jumped in a little early, got stopped out, but then your second entry was exactly where my entry was. And
that's it.
Was your stop under that 1 minute candle wick? Because that's where I put mine.
First, yeah, after I entered here, this was my stop loss.
Oh, so it was the previous 1 minute. Got it.
Once it made a new 1 minute high, I saw the volume getting in. I felt that now is the moment where it's going to pop up. I gave it a little bit tighter stop loss because if it's going to run, I knew it will not just drop all the way down to where it was. I had a tighter stop loss added to my share size and got a really nice move from it.
Awesome trade, man. So I learned this setup from Brian and Norm, and then Robert helped me with the harmonious chart. You got insight from myself and Kurt, so we're all learning from each other. So Michelle, you tell here, Eamonn, you want to cancel your screen share and let's see Michelle's
I'm
trade.
going to cancel it right now.
I did what Eamonn did. I got in too early. and it came down and I almost stopped out, and then it pulled up, and then I was okay. And I partialed my first partial at this pivot point. I have the pivot points on my screen, and then basically just continued to partial as it broke. I was worried that it was going to break down here. It started to look like it was going to break down. And then it held on to it, and now I'm still holding on to a little bit to see if we can break high day.
And what was your entry indicator for yourself?
What was the entry?
Yeah, I mean, what was your indicator? Like, why did you decide to go long here where you did?
Honestly, I was long biased just because of their earnings and looking at Benzinga and everything, which I know is not the best reason.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, I was long biased too because of all this stuff. And so you did the same thing that Eamonn did. You got in the earliest out of all of us, Michelle.
I got in early. I got in really early.
What I learned from Brian and Norm that I can share with you is that, right, don't short the strong stock, which you didn't, but then wait for the pullback, wait for the dip, because that's where people are going to be taking profit from the big gap up. And that doesn't mean it's going to go down. It just means it's a short little dip where then the people took their profit and they'll consolidate, and then the buyers will step back in. And sometimes I don't love the 1 minute chart, but for something like this, I just waited for the first 1 minute bullish candle off of the support, and then I got my confirmation.
Yeah.
I just waited for that little bit of confirmation.
You definitely had a much smarter trade than I did, and Eamonn too, stopping out and then getting back in. I was being a little risky holding on to it. And I'm lucky that it worked out, but probably also a little bit of bad trading there.
Yeah, no, but great job still. Yeah. Oh, Eamonn, you might get filled soon. I'm seeing off a show start.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
It looks good.
It does.
Yeah. I wanted to add to my position, but I told myself that's enough. Just let it go to 100. That's enough.
All right, thank you, Michelle. You want to stop sharing your screen and let's see what Steve did.
I was definitely long biased on Home Depot, because they had good earnings, and in the pre-market here on the 15-minute, you can see definitely gapped up a lot. I saw it pulling back at the open, people taking profits, and I was definitely long biased. And I basically said, okay, let's go for an entry at VWAP and just watch our risk. And so, got in here at it was like, I think it was like 212.86 was my average, and I bought 400 shares. And I think it dropped maybe 20 cents, maybe a little more. But I thought it would consolidate, and luckily in 30 seconds it came back up and definitely made a super strong move. And realistically, it had some two real strong 1 minute candles here. I was feeling pretty good. I was kind of hit my daily goal and just decided to basically, I kind of slowly covered it all in the next 2 minutes, and saw it consolidate, and there's definitely some upside opportunity. And I think Carlos's pre-market, definitely I put that level on there of 217.50, and it definitely did hit that, and that was a real thing. And I wish I would have stayed on for more, but I was definitely happy with what I got with this trade, and is definitely ready to exit if it hadn't if it kept breaking down at 9:32. But definitely worked out well, and it was nice, easy, good trade.
Yeah, so all three of you had that similar kind of early entry, and so I had you guys got better fills than me for your price, and I just waited for the confirmation. And I want everyone to know, one is not necessarily better than the other. I had a worse price but confirmation. They had a better price but less confirmation, so they could have easier risk to reward than me, but I had a more likelihood to get out. And this is actually opposite. Usually I don't wait for confirmation, but on this one, because of the spread on the stock, and I knew if there was one new 1 minute high that it would just trigger 5, 10, 20 cent spread. It would just go up so fast because people would have to get out. That's why I waited for the confirmation on this trade.
I think I missed the spread. I didn't look, and I noticed that my entry was worse than I thought because it had a little bit of a higher spread. And usually I look at that, but I just kind of missed it this time. So, good call. I definitely I think your method was definitely a lower risk method, it seems.
Yeah, and so for you see those two giant candles after that white candle, that is the spread. If people start to hit their hotkey to get out, out, out and go on the ask, it's just going to jump up 10 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents. It's going to go up so rapidly. Whereas with MU or AMD, when the spread is only 1 cent and you people have to get out, the squeeze is harder to do because you don't get those gaps. So I took advantage of that as well. So thank you guys so much. That was really fun. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Thank you, Steve, Michelle, and Eamonn.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great one, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye, guys.